Daniel Willingham proposed 5 general principles of student learning and education. These principles are based on empirical research and each have important implications and practical applications on classroom learning. One of these principles is that students understand new information in the context of things they already know. Today we'll be focusing on the implications this principle has at the design phase of educational training. To help us, we're going to use Dave as an example. Dave is a teacher at a new school who is responsible for designing the English course for grade 12 students. Dave has heard that students understand and learn things in the context of what they already know, but he doesn't quite understand what that means or how to apply it. Well, Dave, to learn things, students need to keep things active in their working memory. It's thought that working memory can hold 4 items or pieces of information at once. However, if there's a big gap between what the student knows and what they are being taught, for example, trying to teach someone Year 8 level algebra, Grade 12 level algebra, working memory becomes overloaded and it makes it much harder for students to learn. This is what's known as cognitive load theory. To begin with, Dave needs to consider what these students may already know. He'll need to access the course profile for the Grade 11 and past English courses to determine the level of education these students received in prior years. This way, Dave makes sure students don't have too big of a gap between what they know and what Dave teaches. Then he'll need to think about how this information can help the students learn the material required of them in Grade 12. As an example, students in Grade 10 English learn how to understand and respond to the contexts of literary texts. In Grade 11, they learn how to understand and control textual features in a variety of contexts. Then in Grade 12, they go above this and learn to create and evaluate meaning in their own literary text. Willingham states that students understand new things, things they don't know, by relating them to old ideas or things they do know. Therefore, as a teacher, Dave should be aware that shallow knowledge, or a limited understanding of the material such as lists and definitions, has to come before any deep knowledge is mastered, underlying abstract principles. There are 3 strategies to help students understand deep knowledge. Dave should look to include each of these strategies into his English course to assist his students in knowledge acquisition. Learning is often incremental rather than all at once. As mentioned, this assists in not overloading students' working memory, which is detrimental to knowledge acquisition. Students take a step-by-step approach of understanding simpler ideas so that the end content doesn't seem so difficult. Secondly, Dave should provide lots of familiar, concrete applications of the material he wants students to learn and understand. This allows students to extract the underlying principles of the material rather than just having surface-level knowledge. Finally, Dave should encourage his students to generate lots of questions about the content being learned, not only in class time, but when studying individually. By repeatedly asking and creating questions from the material, the student's understanding is growing stronger. Maybe as homework, Dave should assign each student to come up with a list of questions they had about the content that day to put into an exam file at the end of the term for each student to access. Studies have shown that this improves reading comprehension. By implementing these simple and easy steps, Dave the teacher can be sure his students are on the path towards successful learning.